Myanmar, with a youthful and multi-ethnic population of 60 million people, is the largest mainland Southeast Asian country and one of the least developed nations in the region. Buddhism, followed by 89% of the population, plays a fundamental role in Myanmar's society, reinforcing the country's identity and strengthening its culture, values and traditions. After one of the longest military-ruled periods in the world, in November 2015, the National League for Democracy, led by the Nobel Prize winner Aung San Suu Kyi, won the first democratic elections in decades and set up a promising scenario for future socio-economic progress. The country has experienced a rapid economic transformation, with a 6.5% GDP growth in 2016. However, with every step in the right direction comes an increasingly uncomfortable intimation of the great challenges that lie ahead.
Our people are suffering for many years, so they have great expectation with them. So that expectation make them, to be more anxious to see the, progress.
We've been under authoritative regimes for a few decades, and we have just started to practice constitutional democracy. And it is going to be a very steep learning curve.
The government really wants to help to improve the living conditions of the Myanmar people. However, to do this, they need a strong budget, and they still cannot manage to develop the economy. Therefore, there is no income to effectively help to improve the lives of the people.
For our local company, we don't get strong support from our banks, because here, one thing is the interest rate is very high, about 13%, 14%.
Another challenge we are facing is human resources. Because our population, millennial group, is quite big. Although it is big, we can't select the talented people, professional people, skilled labor. We still are shortage of that.
After the law and the regulation, the second challenge is the infrastructures and the logistic issue.
Myanmar's unusually fertile soils and abundant water source are legendary in Southeast Asia. The country was once Asia's largest exporter of rice. Although the agriculture sector dominates Myanmar's economy, contributing 38% of GDP, land and labour productivity in Myanmar are much lower than in other Asia's rice bowls, since it lacks public support programs. The access to quality seeds is challenging, and there is an insufficient use of fertilizers and a poor access to irrigation.
When we started our company 23 years ago, one thing we faced is that our farmers didn't know how to use inputs, or they didn't even know that they have to use inputs to increase yield. So in order to create demand and in order to create awareness among farmers the need to use agrochemicals, we employ agronomists who will go from village to village and explain to farmers and pinpointing their problems. And slowly we have to educate farmers how they can actually improve their yield. Nowadays, we have 3.5 farming families as our customer, and we employ over 1,000 agronomists all over the country. We will be utilizing mobile phone technology to reach to even more rural community. So we are very confident that our brand image and our value proposition and the relationship with farmers will give us competitive edge over multinational companies that may be coming in the future.
Notwithstanding the new Myanmar investment law, which came into effect on April the 1st, it needs to be implemented to prove the ease and expediency with which investments can proceed. Nonetheless, the current fiscal year has witnessed more than $6.87 billion of foreign investments flowing into the country.
Myanmar, it's happening right now, so it is the interesting and right moment to be there, either as a tourist or as an investor. But one must understand the country has just opened up and start to develop 2-3 years, so it is not on the service levels are not on the same level like neighboring countries. You have to accept power cuts. If you come to invest, you have to be ready to, you will face difficulties in getting your licenses, your formalities.
And where is Myanmar located? Simple. India, China. 2/6 of the world populations. 10 years ago, you could talk about India and China, it was nothing. But nowadays, when you talk about the first economic power, 1 billion free, 1 billion four, and India is a new economic power, 1 billion inhabitants by the very frontier of Myanmar.
So many business can do in Burma, but the policy and some of the law and regulations are not very clear.
This is like a beauty pageant. We are not the only country to choose for investment, so we have to be more attractive, we have to be more transparent than other countries.
Foreigners can invest in local company up to 35%. So the government will treat as local company, I think, which is also quite good approach to the foreigners as well as the local.
The attractiveness of the manufacturing and retail sectors has driven many international investors into partnerships with local companies, enhancing the variety of goods available for the consumer market, which has significantly increased the demand for food and beverages products and efficient distribution services.
Just with the investment of $20,000, 5 employees, we start the businesses. So from there, I think gradually we expand into multiple business sectors, like core business is beverage, another business is finance, another business is we go into the property as a diversification. So currently, I think we have 3,500 employees. In order to grow the business, I choose one way is to partner with multinational company. I hope they will bring me to development of the business, grow the business, and my value in the business will increase. We bring in professional people. We bring in from Germany, from Hungary, from Belgium, and some from neighboring country. I think from Thailand, from Vietnam, all the professional people join my team.
Our company is distribution service company. So from that 3 criteria, human resources, logistic, infrastructure, these are equally important for us. I focus to this local manufacturing 3-in-1 products. Then after that, our business we grow every year. I'm doing Nescafe powder and Nestle range of products, which includes Milo, Coffee Mate. Now I'm currently doing Sunkist soft drink. So manufacturing partner with from one of the Philippine company, and we got the licenses from Sunkist, and we already started Sunkist manufacturing in Myanmar. For I also distribute other range of product, which is wine, champagne.
Our core business is in property development and constructions. And in fact, we have several core business with us, not only just property development and constructions. We are also in hospitalities, we are also in retail and wholesale. We are also in the the agriculture processing industries as well. We also have joint venture, which we call that Diloa Global Logistics, which we joint venture with a Japanese multinational company.
This project actually was a vision which our chairman had 7 years ago. Then we were finally given this chance to develop this wholesale market towards the end of 2015. It's basically a marketplace where the farm meets the table. So the farmers will be able to come to this market and sell the produce. We found that the wholesale market, the existing wholesale market, has a lot of hygiene problems, is congested, the infrastructure is very poor, the drainage networks are poor. So we think about setting up this kind of facility where we address all those issues and really upgrade the infrastructure so that the trade can happen in a very safe and hygienic environment. This is a good example of a project being developed in Myanmar with the incoming foreign direct investment. The foreign direct investment is driving and changing the way consumer behaves and needs. This kind of infrastructure project is critical to support the economic growth.
We do have 3 hotels at the moment, and we have another one already under construction. My very first hotel is start in Mui Sound, what we call Mui Sound, which is facing to the Bay of Bengal. We are quite diversified.
From the historical and magical Bagan to other top destinations like Inla Lake, Mandalay, and many more, the country is not only blessed with natural wonders, archaeological sites and cultural heritage, but also gifted with exceptionally friendly, engaging and kind people. Tourism is one of the major drivers of the economy, contributing to more than 4% of Myanmar's GDP in 2015. The current 2.7 million arrivals are quite a long way from the 7 million the government aims at by 2020. However, the hospitality industry has been growing significantly after the election. and the country holds a largely untapped potential as a new tourism destination in Asia.
Hospitality grew in the last years. There was obvious also demand for well-trained people. So all of us hotels, we have our internal training programs in place. We need to give the young kids a chance. We have 300 rooms and we have 4 categories. We have 3 kind of suites. One we call the Bamboo Executive Room, and then a Patauk Suite, which is kind of a business suite. And the designer is, we're very lucky to have him. He's a Myanmar born but immigrated to US. And so he got a task from us to make it a Myanmar hotel, but a modern Myanmar hotel. So there are certain Myanmar elements, but same time we have worked with modern colors to have a kind of a contrast, to have the modern and old Myanmar as a part of the design. We have worked with local products, like if you've seen the Bamboo Executive Rooms, there are those huge sofas. They've been actually too big to fit into the room. So we had to invite the ladies, the wavers, to assemble, to wave the sofas in the room. We have, of course, different restaurants. We have all-day dining. We have a fine dining, we call it a foyer gallery, with a signature fusion food, Asian Western fusion. We have a small Italian trattoria restaurant. We have the biggest ballroom for conferences in Yangon. It's just in the back of us, it's over 10,000 square feet. We've done events for up to 3,000 people.
The concept of the Accor hotels is first to offer all the category of brands, from economy hotels to very luxury hotels. Here in Myanmar, we are at this day, we have this Novotel where we are today, which is a 5-star hotel. Here in the Novotel Yangon, it's mainly people coming from companies. If Accor Hotels is really pushing on so many hotels here in Myanmar, it's because we believe that with the ups and downs, anyway, there will be a growth. Comparing even to Bali or to a country like Thailand, we have a long way to go. My role and the role of our key managers is to make sure that we adapt all the procedure to the way that to the culture here in Myanmar. The beauty of Myanmar, and if there is one point that I would like to stress about the country, is the willingness of the young generation to learn, and that's, for us, it's a fantastic gift.
Since the hotel business is based on friendliness, hospitality and warmth, when I train my staff members, I make sure all my staff members treat the guests warmly, with friendliness, and I also ensure all the procedures and policies are in place. But when my staff members interact with the guests, I tell them to maintain the Myanmar cultural and traditional behavior, to give friendliness and to be warm and to be kind. Our most important project at the moment is the extension of Torwin Garden Hotel. The hotel currently offers an extensive range of services and facilities. "513 fully equipped rooms from different categories, spacious guest rooms and suites, each furnished with contemporary decor and furnishing. All our rooms are provided with full amenities and facilities, with a spacious balcony and bathroom. For the more discerning business travellers, the suite rooms offer additional privileges and personalised services. We have a collection of restaurant and dining options. Our F&B venues showcase the very best of Myanmar cuisine, a Chinese restaurant and the lobby bar. However, we aim at upgrading it from a 4-star to a 5-star hotel and to build triple the number of rooms, up to 2,000 rooms in the near future.
Santa Hotel Company was created 23 years ago with the two objectives. One is to do investment and also the management, and the second is also to empower the youth. I call it the lost generation. Today we have currently 3 beautiful boutique hotels, inclusive of the one called Love in Yangon and Inland Lakeview Resort that is located in the southern Shan State, and the third one is in the 12th century old ancient archaeological site called Bagan. So the Love Hotel is a city boutique hotel. What we are different from Love to the other hotel is a customer care, going into details, taking care of the daily needs of the customers. The room has duplex, which has a mezzanine floor. It's like you don't know if you are in this place, whether you are in New York or you are in Yangon, because the rooms are really modern, comfortable. We do have a very good restaurant called Alex Restaurant, and that provides first international food, especially dedicating French food, French cuisine, and as well as a few local dishes. Inland Lakeview Resort was built 18 years ago. We are targeting the high-end market. What do we provide in this resort is a flavor of nature and also purity. The rooms are beautifully decorated in combination of traditionally handmade handicraft. In our kitchen, every morning our team is preparing a fresh tomato sauce, and all the lettuce are picking up from our own organic garden. You can do a beautiful resort without destroying the nature, but in the same time engaging to the people who live around and lifting up the life by tourism.
We start the factory first, then after that, Shishan, we did the opening ceremony in 2004, March 14. So we did a lot of jewelry and design, and then we selling. First, we are trying to selling only the local market, but now slowly we find a lot of foreign market, and we have a lot of customer already now. We have our own mine in Mogo also, and then we cut our raw material from our mine, And as well, we buy the raw material from some of the supplier also. Then after we bought the raw material already, we do the cutting and then we do the setting. We are selling in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong. For Shishine shop, we use only our Burma ruby, sapphire, and all the semi-precious stone from Burma only. I mean, 90% of our stone is from Burma. All our design now we are produce is for the main design for the big item. We are produce for one design is for one customer only.
Myanmar's growth figures have ranked among the highest in the world in the last few years. Despite the several challenges, nobody can deny that Myanmar's isolation is ending, and the country is going through one of the most vibrant moments in its recent history. And the opportunities arising from this crossroads will define the future of what has been called the lost generations.